Check, mic check, mic check, 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 mic check, 1, 2. Man, I guess we're gonna have to see. I guess we're gonna have to see. This is Booze and Reviews Live, Detroit Sports Rap 2. Grand Biscuits, can you hear me? Put a thumbs up. Put a thumbs up if you can hear me. Put a thumbs up. Because I'm going to run through this fairly quickly because we just spent about another 20-something, 30 minutes. There you go. There you go. Tapping in real quick from work, my boy T. Roy. If you don't know, if you haven't watched us before, this is Booze and Reviews Live. Definitely, this is your boy Mughal. My boy T. Roy would be here, and my boy Critique would be there. Watch your mouth. They're probably going to join us in the chat, and we just going to tap in real quick and talk about the Detroit sports culture and our teams right now, and some of the things that's going on with them. So let's get to it. Let's start with the Tigers. Tigers had a very underwhelming year for us. Record was 87-75. We definitely looked to do and go a lot farther than we did. We started off very hot and then we ended very cold. Our run production just clearly did not. Our run production definitely just did not keep up with our pitching. The pitching at times was inconsistent outside of the one main starter we have, which is Tariq Skubal in the bullpens. Just was not able to help him out in times in some of those late games. But we started out very hot and then we ended up very cold. Second in the Central. Javier Baez, same thing as our team went. As he went, our team went. He hasn't had a very strong tenure here in Detroit, and this past year was a good breakout season for him. He just was not able to to keep it going, and it just kind of fizzled with him as well. Our run production definitely did not help out the pitching, and when you don't have that type of continuity, it just spells disaster. We started off very hot, and then it just went in the toilet after that. So, with that being said, the culture with the Tigers has changed a lot. AJ Hinch has done a good job. I think now is the time where we're going to see some moves possibly made, probably during grapefruit season or winter baseball down in Florida, while those guys are, kind of trying to get into shape. We might see some moves happen as far as maybe Tariq Skubal will be on the move. And hopefully we can get some assets back for that so that he can help us. Maybe we get some assets that'll help us turn around our season. We still got some good players, Riley Green, Flattery. We still have some good people in play, and on our team a pretty decent core. And so now we want to try to take that into next year, and hopefully we can turn that around. But yeah, the Tigers definitely, man. It's a different culture, man. I would say we expect to win. There's a thing of going to a game and we expect to win. So let's keep that going. Let's talk about the Red Wings, man. I mean, the Red Wings are pretty much they're lighting it up right now. They're number one in the Atlantic Division. They are 23-14. I think they have 49 points. Led by a hometown kid named Dylan Larkin. He went to Waterford Mott, and he also played at University of Michigan. and this is an exciting year. Detroit hockey has always been at the top, and so we've taken some time off, trying to rebuild our team. Our GM, Steve Eiserman, who is a Hall of Fame NFL NHL player, and a Detroit Red Wing at heart. So it would be only right that somebody who knows the culture and knows the team um, be in a place to help the team, prosper. And I think we're right. I think we there. I think I don't know when their trade how their trade deadline and all that goes, but what we have in place right now is pretty much a good core, and so we go into that and try to build that up. And as the season goes along, you know what I'm saying, they're in the like 35, 40 games in the season. So this is a good time, and I think they're going to go through a couple of breaks. I think they're going to go through an all-star break, and then I think they're going to go through a Olympic break as well. So yeah, man, this is one thing that when your team is doing good, if you don't really follow hockey, this will make you follow it because your team is winning and you wonder, hey, why are they winning? Who are the players? Who's the coach? Um, those good things, man. And I don't know our coach's name. That's bad. But I will definitely have that information for you. But it's definitely an exciting year for the Red Wings, man. Number one in the Atlantic and 49 points and keeping it moving. You know what I'm saying? So they're in a town where we're used to seeing our Red Wings prosper and win championships and keep it moving. So we keep want to keep adding those. Want to keep adding those to the rafters. We want to keep adding championship banners to the rafters. You know what I'm saying? So, uh, but hockey, if most people, they say it's black sport, white sport, this, that, and other. Hey, you know what? All I got to say is, we have a very strong history here of Red Wing hockey, all the way back to Gordie Howe and you know all those players. So at the end of the day, we expect to get back to a time where we're at the top, where we're winning, we're always in contention, and that's what we're looking for. And hopefully this year, they missed the playoffs last year, so hopefully this year they can, bring that all that back, bring all that glory back. Um, but yeah, man, kudos to the Red Wings, man. Um, so let's talk about our Lions. The Detroit Lions. Hey, if you didn't watch every game, it's fine. If you looked at our record, what it is right now, which is 8-8 at 500, where are we right now? I feel like there's a comparison to be made between Dan Campbell and Caldwell. Caldwell was our previous coach, and Dan Campbell is the coach now. I think there's a very good comparison there. And I think they were both making changes in culture. I think they were both making changes as far as the expectation of winning. Because I think when you watch a Lions game now, we expect to win. Um, I know I watch the games and I expect to win. Uh, I've been a Lions fan for over 40 years, and I would say this. Um, Clearly, I like football, and our team may not have made some of the best decisions as far as GM, players, bringing in people. What is our issue? Did they address it? And I think with this new GM and coach tandem, I think they have addressed some issues. They have made they have they have made it a way to have a fan of 40 years who has watched a lot of the losing, a lot of great players, Hall of Fame players, still Hall of Fame players, not be able to celebrate a championship. here in Detroit. And, you just want that for them. And so I think at this point in the game, the Lions pretty much are going to have a very productive offseason. Hopefully, it will bring a lot of our people who were hurt back. It will bring a lot of injuries back. That's another thing that pretty much kind of like messed up our season, which was the injuries on the offensive and the defensive side of the ball. Um, I would say that even though we lost our defensive coordinator and our offensive coordinator, I feel like we were still in a position to be in the hunt and be on the hunt to get further in the playoffs or to get into the playoffs to move further. I think we still were in play, but with those key injuries, it messes things up. Laporta, Branch, um, offensive line just did not gel with it this year. I think another thing that happened for us is that we did not stay to our identity. Our identity is a ball possession team, meaning that you're going to run the ball a nice amount of times and you're going to throw the ball. That's going to put you in positions to do those RPOs, those run pass option plays. And I think we did not possess the ball well enough. I don't think we ran well enough. Jahmyr Gibbs is an outstanding player and will be an outstanding player going forward in this league. And I would definitely say future Hall of Famer. I think Montgomery, David Montgomery, our power back. I think that mix just they did not use it enough this year. That's why they had the nickname Sonic and Knuckles. You got Knuckles who's gonna come in and pop you in the face, and then you got Sonic that's gonna run right by you. And I think those were setups. I think the power sets up the speed, and then you're able to mix in the passing. Jared Goff definitely has made some bad decisions this year, but I think he is still, if you go by the numbers and if you watch the games, if you look at the record over the last couple of years, I think he has put himself in a position to be an elite quarterback as of right now. The only thing that I would say is that it kind of trips me out here and there. I remember watching Peyton Manning. Now we say Peyton Manning was a whole nother animal at the quarterback. He was a whole nother animal. And I feel like why are the IQ levels of a lot of the quarterbacks not the same? Nobody has learned since watching Peyton Manning to be able to be in the huddle, come to the line, diagnose the defense, be able to call in and out of plays, take a timeout if needed, on his own. Even though they're calling plays in, that he's able to see the defense and say, hey, that play that we call, it's not going to run with that. He has audibles right there. I don't see that he has that or that he's doing it in cases. But his passing is elite. He's probably the second or third best quarterback in the league as far as QB rating and yards thrown. It's just that. I mean, he's done well, although in a down year, and he's only thrown maybe 7 interceptions over the course of the year, and it just did not pan out. I think everybody knew that we have to pressure Goff in order to disrupt the team and stop them from scoring so much. And I think that is definitely a diagnosis that a lot of teams used, and it worked. And I think where we lost the running play and our identity of possession ball, I think that is what furthered it, where it just made him, he's on the menu for every defensive end. He's on the menu because we're not able to run the ball and throw so many different looks at the defense that they can't key in on what we're doing. And I think that's what Ben was doing as the offensive coordinator. That definitely, I think, kind of disturbed things losing both of those guys, but I think we still were in a position to win a lot of the games that we lost. The next thing to talk about with that is officiating. It's hard, to say, the officiating changed the game. The officiating made this game the outcome that it made it. And not all the time. I think even with some of those calls, we were still in position to win the game, and we're not able to pull off our magic. We just weren't able to do it. So with that being said, this is Booze and Reviews. This is the Detroit Sports Wrap-Up. And so far, I've went through the Tigers, I've gone through the Red Wings, I've talked about the Lions, and now we got to talk about Detroit basketball. We have to talk about Detroit basketball. Hey, look, it is infectious. Our two teams right now, this is their season, which is the Red Wings and the Pistons, wrapping up the football, the Lions season this year. I think this Sunday we were wrapping that up at Soldier Field. We'll be playing our last game against the Bears. Hopefully we can play spoiler, at least put a L on their record. But the Pistons right now, yeah, clearly, I'm always going to wear the Lions hat. Win or loss, man. I'm at that point where wins and losses, what is the overall of our team? How can we do it? Yeah, maybe in 2026, we'll be back in the playoffs. I think we're going to have to make moves. And shout out to everybody in the chat, T-Roy. Shout out to my man, Simon Says, 316. What's going on with you? Hey, you say the Pistons are overrated. They won't do anything in the playoffs. Well, that is not my quote. That is Simon Says' quote. What I will tell you right now, I've been around since the 89, 90s. I've been around since the 2004 season, and I'll always be around. I will say this. If you feel that they are overrated, you should really go watch them play. It is infectious. Watching them hustle on the floor and watching what they do and taking care of one another, I think you would see a lot. Say Tobias Harris needs to go. If they upgrade to a player like Zion over Tobias, they'd be for real. Seriously, one player away. I would give it that. I would say we are possibly one player away. I spoke about this on another live that we had. It just didn't play out, or people couldn't hear. This is similar. This team is similar to all of our championship teams, but it's closely more similar to the 04 team because the 04 team made that one move, which was Rasheed Wallace, and it just put us over the top. When we talk about a team, you got to talk about a team effort. Yes, there is Cade Cunningham, where we're in an NBA climate where stars, and this, that, and the other. And Detroit has always been the basketball culture of team. And yes, we've had stars, but it was always a team thing. And it was also based on defense. So currently they'll be coming off of a West Coast trip. We did very well on this West Coast trip. We had one hiccup, and that was Kawhi Leonard. Went off on us for 55 points and had a little bit of help from some of his other people on the team who normally wouldn't possibly be that good, and they did it. And he scored 55 on us and put us in the, gave us an L. Yeah, man. LeBron's birthday, yes, it definitely got ruined by the Detroit Pistons. And actually, a quote after the game, LeBron James gave the Detroit Pistons some props on. Definitely, this is the feel of Detroit basketball. He was recanting his days in Cleveland of going against the Pistons and saying like, man, it was tough because they played defense, and they definitely kept me out of there. Do you want to know who really needs to make a trade to be an instant contender? Um, who needs to make a trade to be an instant contender? I mean, we've shown that as of last year that the series with the Knicks, we've shown that we can definitely go into doing some big things, and we're proving it again this year. Um, uh, peace and shout out to everybody in the chat. Simon says 316. T. Roy, one of the three brothers that you know so well, and also Francis Z K2G. Okay, I said your name, Francis Z K2G. I think the Rockets or Minnesota need to acquire a point guard from the Kings. The Kings have 20 point guards and no front court. Well, I think we are coming down to February 5th, which is the trade deadline. I think the Pistons might be into making some moves, but I think if you're looking from a fan perspective, from our perspective, we want this core to definitely stay intact. We want this core to stay intact. So for this core to stay intact, what do we have to do to keep this core, but add just that one piece? We could get a point guard. I think Jaden Ivey. I think this is his comeback year. He's coming back, and I think he's playing well, but I think that it's going to take him maybe a year to, officially come around. Sasser played very well tonight. I don't know if he's going to see more minutes. Karis LeVert has been out, so that was another person. Duncan Robinson, not as consistent as we need him to be. And these are things that, we could be seeing. It's something that we could definitely see. The best part about the Kings is that they want to play small ball with no 3-point shooters. Well, at the end of the day, this is the Detroit Sports Wrap Up. This is Booze and Reviews Live, and right now we're talking about the Pistons, and we quite possibly could make some moves. We coming off of the West Coast trip. West Coast trip did us pretty well. We just need to, I think, look at ways that we can better ourselves. 25-8. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. You know what I'm saying? At 25-8, playing good, and keeping our health, intact is one of the great things. Okay, so you're a 76ers fan. Okay, Simon. I think you guys got some moves to make. I think you guys got some things to do. You definitely in the East. You're definitely in the pecking order of the East with the 76ers. I think you guys got some moves to make, maybe to let off some baggage, you know what I'm saying, to get you some players that, are going to get out on the floor and really get at it. Cade. Cade didn't go to follow him, says Duke. I don't know if he was at Duke, buddy. I think he was at Texas. I think he played for Texas A&M or Texas Tech, one of the two. 76ers made bad moves. I don't trust the process. And yeah, at this point, I mean, if you trusted the process, it worked up to a point. And then it just, again, they had a snowball effect. Embiid just could not get it together and be very consistent. They paid out some money, man. They paid out some money. Ben Simmons didn't pan out. Jimmy Buckets. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened with that. I mean, they spoke about it in the news, but usually players are going to make a move if they feel like the culture is going to change, or they don't like the moves that the coach is making, or they don't like the moves the GM is making. So I think with that, that's possibly why Jimmy didn't work out. But definitely, man, if you're watching this live, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe to us. Francis, you asked me to say your name, so I did. So Francis K2G, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Simon says, boy, make sure you go check out our content, man. We have numerous lives, and we have over 70 videos of reviews, all that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Boston, I think Boston is always going to be in play. They have a team that is a championship team. They've been playing together. They're tight. The third brother of the three bad brothers, Critique, is a diehard Boston fan. And we always going back and forth, mixing it up. But yeah, with the exclusion of Tatum, the Boston team is just not as explosive as they could be. They have people who are stepping up, but they need Tatum back in order to I think make it deep into the playoffs. I just think that they're gonna need Tatum. Oh, he didn't want to play with Ben. Well, I just don't understand how somebody can play the guard, the two guard, or point guard, and be drafted and do not have a jump shot. That was, I think, to me, I think people bought into the hype. They bought too much into the hype of Ben Simmons. They bought way too much into the hype. And yes, he can make a lot of plays. He can do assists and all that, but he doesn't have a jump shot. How can he be on the floor and do not have a jump shot? And he's not a big. He's a guard. He has to have a jump shot. Yeah, I mean, Jimmy, yep, I've heard about that. He's a great teammate, and he definitely holds people accountable, i.e. Chris, who they just let go, Chris Paul. They just hold people accountable. You're a point guard, you're a leader, and that's what you're supposed to do. I wouldn't play NBA 2K with Ben Simmons. Yeah, I can hear you, T-Roy. I feel you. Jaylen Brown thinks he's the best player in the league. He's good for 30s nights without Tatum. Stats don't tell the whole story, though. I think Jaylen Brown is a good two guy. He doesn't necessarily want to be the main event. He just definitely wants to be there, and he will pitch in. He's going to do his rebounds. He's going to score his points. I don't think he wants to be the main guy, though. The year Kawhi hit that corner three and the Raptors won a championship. Okay, changed everything for 76ers basketball. Yeah, but they got some bright spots, man. Edgecombe and Maxey. I mean, they got some bright spots. They just need to, get into their office and try to figure out what they're going to do. I think when you're talking about basketball, man, you have seasons that go by. And believe you me, being a Detroit Pistons fan, you had some seasons that went by and you were like, man, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And I think that's what all of our teams, the Pistons, the Red Wings, the Tigers, and the Lions, I think we go through that all the time. Like, man, you're down for so long, and then you have an expectation of winning. What do we do with that, and how do we keep fostering it? And so you got to make the moves, and you got to bring in the right players, and I think that's what we're doing now. Ben Simmons owns a professional fishing team. Really? He's done with basketball. Hey, if that's the case, man, there's money out there all the different places, man. So, yeah, Doc Rivers, I mean, what can you say about Doc? You have players that say he's a solid guy, and then you see what happens the Clippers, and then 76ers, and then Milwaukee. I think you seeing all these things, and it's like, okay, what is his vibe? Why did he win that year? Why did he win that year in Boston, but was not able to go anywhere else and coach to a point that would get him close to that? Rui will help us, but we're talking about like right now. We're talking about when you're talking about the Detroit Pistons right now. He said Doc got lucky with Boston. Okay, well he had a team too. He had a core team that was there. Um, so when we're talking about help for the Pistons, talking about making moves, trades, and all that type of stuff, at the end of the day, you have a solid team that you can put on the floor every night. You have a solid team, a nice core, and you have to really be mindful of the move that you're gonna make before you make it, because anything you don't want to set up, you don't want to upset the chemistry. Upsetting the chemistry of this team right now would be catastrophic, and we don't want that to happen. So in most cases, um, you know, at some point, yes, there's going to be a scoring help needed. With the '04 team, Chauncey had Rip and Rashid that were going to give him some scoring help and scoring punch. Um, Rui Hashimura, I don't know if he's consistent enough. The other thing is, see, it's more than uh, a notion to come to Detroit. You have to come play, and you have to come play defense. You have to play defense. If you're not playing defense, I think a lot of times you're gonna be sitting on the bench if you're not playing defense. That means your player is giving up a whole lot of points, and you're not, unless you're going to trade. But Rip Hamilton. I still don't understand. The only player in the league that I know that really runs like he does is Curry. And we're talking about using the screens and the plays and just keeping you moving around the floor so that the defense can't set. And that's what happens, man. We need good players like that. Yeah, yeah, he should have had a dynasty with the Clippers, but there's something about the Clippers, man. They just don't want. I guess they just don't want them to. I don't want. I guess they don't want them to play, or they don't want them to be a team. They don't want them to be the team or win. They win some games and then somebody get hurt or whatever. So I feel like Ruri is a better 3-point shooter than Tobias. He's shooting like 47%. Cade was set up better than Luca and LeBron do. They take all the shots. He's the odd man out. Well, again, there's not enough balls to go around. They basically are not like you said, they're not passing enough. They taking more shots themselves. Rip is one of the most underrated players. You're right. He was awesome, and they didn't like him because he didn't want to really lift weights too much. I think he's a vegan as well, and I think he didn't want to lift weights. He didn't want to put on bulk. And the reason you don't put on bulk playing the way that he plays is because he was fast. It was hard to catch him. He was pretty much he grabbed everything from Reggie Miller as far as the screens and the speed and upped it up a tick. Wow. If Pascal Siakam came to Detroit, if we throwing names out there, man, my first name that I threw out there a couple years ago, well, not a couple years ago. Yeah, I think I did it 2 years ago. I said the same name. Russell Westbrook is a great player to match into Detroit. The mentality, is a dog. I mean, he's going to fight. I would like him. He's also a guard. He's a scoring guard. I would love to see him in Detroit. However, I don't know what his jump shot looks like, but I know he's a hard, tough-nosed player, and I would just bring him here for that reason. Now, the reason is he's probably not going to come here because we're cold. He's probably looking for a warmer climate. Um, Pascal. Whew. But see, you got to give away a lot of stuff. For that. I don't know if we want to make that move, but I think we, looking into stuff like that. But, we're talking about people who are going to add. So, like, if Cade is sitting down, who is going to be on the floor, who you can go to the ball. Now, Duren is definitely, he's in the paint. He's making it happen. He's consistent. And I like that about him. But somebody who can kind of pull back from the rim a little bit. Siakam definitely has that. He has the height as well. And I think he might have defense as well. I like to hypothetically throw out possible trades. The salary is always something to factor in, but that's the GM's job. Clearly it is. And I think Trajan Langdon is doing a pretty good job in his short tenure. He's doing a pretty good job. He inherited a lot of great assets as well, and I think he's getting a return on those assets. Yeah, everybody want to go somewhere to win. See, like right now, there's a lot of players who could come to Detroit and it would be, a landslide. Like we were talking about Giannis. We're talking about Giannis coming to Detroit. We would have to give up a lot for him. But I think Giannis coming to Detroit is like, that's what you're looking for. A big that can score, can shoot, athletic. I mean, hey, and can run the floor. And then while Cade is, sitting or resting, you got somebody who in the game who can score. Yeah, Pascal's definitely a dog. Trajan was good. I don't know what happened with the league. I don't know if he wound up playing somewhere in, I can't remember. It was in the boonies. But he never played. I don't think he really got too much into the NBA. He didn't do as well or washed out. But he's able to be a GM. So come with that. No, I haven't seen Carlos Boozer's son, but if he played like Carlos Boozer does, I mean, you're gonna get the rebounds, you're gonna get a steady player, you're gonna get defense. So if he's gonna play like that, he definitely will make it to the league. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think I haven't watched too much college ball. I know, to be honest with you, shout out to the Michigan Wolverines. We are blazing hot right now. I don't know a lot of the players. But we are blazing hot. The Michigan Wolverines are blazing hot. I haven't watched a lot of college basketball. I hear names, but I haven't really got to see people. Yeah, he just didn't pan out in the league. Trajan I don't think he just did not pan out in the league. Okay, so he was a bully like his dad did down low. Well, they were trying to get rid of that part of the game, man. They were trying to get rid of the centers for a while, and now they got the hybrid centers, which are Wembanyama type cats. Maybe not as tall, but pretty much shooting and doing everything around the basket and rebounding as well. Yeah, we'll see in March Madness if they make it and get in there pretty good, and he can go on and come up with a long run into March Madness. Because most college players right now, I mean, they one and done. I mean, they're going to play the 1 year, which is the NBA mandatory, and then they're going to turn right back around and get out there and basically try to get in and do their thing. Man, the Post is a lost art, man. When you got people like Hakeem Olajuwon, when you got Shaq, you got I mean, I could take it back. Like we talking about Buddha, James Edwards for the Pistons. I mean, we talking about going back into some centers. Frank Sigma, you know what I'm saying, for Indiana. You know what I'm saying? What did they call him? The Flying Dutchman or something like that? Yeah. So, I mean, we talking about going back. Cats who could, but see, even Ewing. See, even players like Ewing. Ewing had the moves around the basket, but he could give you that short range jumper. He could give you that little fall away jumper and be immaculate with it. So uh, yeah, inside out ball, man. I mean, side goes. I mean, but it kind of like they mirrored off each other, inside out and outside in. Yeah, I'm gonna fake the three up. It's going down. No, because it's all about shooting. I'm not gonna say since the inception of Curry, because there's been great shooters in the league. Now, Curry is above and beyond. I will give it that. But there's been great shooters in the league a long time, and I think, um, man, I mean, we talking about shooters. There's been a lot of shooters in the league. I think, but to do it the way Curry or how they set the plays up for Curry to do his thing, I mean, really, it's kind of like what Rip Hamilton was doing, but he's pulling back farther and stretching the defense out that far. Now you leaving the down low open. There go the assist. They were, yep, 3 is more than 2. Rockets and Spurs where McGrady hit like 3 threes in a few seconds. Yeah. Um, but the funny thing about that is, let's say you got 2 shooters on your team and they hit like Clay and Steph. Shutting one of them down puts you in the game. Having success with both of them gives you a chance of winning. Um, yeah, I think I think the defense thing is what sets Detroit apart right now. However, we've had flashes of the '04 and '90 season where we kept people in the '90s. Keeping the team in the '90s right now is almost a guaranteed win. Right now, you seeing just alone with the what game was that? I think we played the Kings. I think we played the Kings on this West Coast trip. It was 250, 60 something points scored in that game. So it's like, and then there was a couple blocks, but I mean, it's like there's little to no defense. And the Pistons historically have not been a scoring powerhouse team. They've always had enough scoring, but the defense is what carried us over. I like to say teams like Detroit, OKC play defense, but it really nobody does. If the score is getting above 100 points, or if it's getting, let me say, yeah, if the score is getting into the hundreds, period. If it's getting into the hundreds, we talking about almost 200 points scored. And I think that was the whole idea of the NBA because they wanted, more points. We want more points. Fans like to see more scoring. They like to see more dunks. They like to see more threes. And so they're trying to cater to the fans instead of saying, hey, you know what? Basketball is great by itself. And if we can just put it in a position to foster itself and grow, then it will take care of itself. But the refs from football to basketball, man, I mean, you don't really have too many problems in baseball. You don't really have too many problems in hockey. But football and basketball, them refs, man, I don't know what it is. It's a lot going on with that. Yeah, I mean, taking a charge nowadays, I mean, you can take a charge, It's not something that, stops you from, doing and being you, but I think you can take a charge, you know what I'm saying? And be in position. But I think now, if you could flop and get over, then it's a done. Say the Joker, the biggest flopper in the league, flops around. He's not 300 pounds, barely getting touched by guys 100 pounds less than he is. The biggest flopper I can say in the league right now, and it's basically because the flops were like stupid. It's probably LeBron. I would say LeBron. Some of the flops that he does, it's like it takes away from the game. You don't want to watch him because it look petty. But he definitely does flop, and no taking away from his greatness, but he definitely does flop. Yeah, the '90s, man. I mean, hey, bully ball. You know what I'm saying? And we played bully ball probably the best. The bad boys. We played it the best. But I think, and Isaiah says this all the time. He says this all the time. The Pistons were merely playing basketball at a time where that physicality was already happening. And the teams that were winning championships were doing it as well. And so once the Pistons said, you know what, we about to stop getting punched in the mouth and we about to punch people in the mouth, then it became such it's a thug and bad boy, and and then we just went on and took the name, man. So it's like that's the crazy part about it, because if you're trying to win, you're going to scrape, you're going to scratch, you're going to do what you got to do. Dennis Rodman, man, one of the hustlest players ever, jumping into crowds for the ball. We had a player, the Junkyard Dog. I don't even remember his name, but we called him the Junkyard Dog. He was getting all type of rebounds. He was doing his thing. He was a young player, short player. I think he wasn't even 6'9". He was like 6'4" or something, 6'2" or something. But he definitely was doing his thing, man. He was rebounding in that tough, scrappy basketball. But it's still a way to do it. It's still a way to do it, and do it the right way. Joe Dumars, Bill Laimbeer. Well, Bill Laimbeer and Rick Mahorn were the bad boys. Those were the bad boys. Mark Aguirre as well. Mark Aguirre was, Isaiah's friend from the south side of Chicago. Jerome Williams. There you go. JD. Yeah, okay. Simon says, okay, buddy. Make sure you check out our content, bro. I think you'll like a lot of our content. We normally, when we go live and we're on YouTube, we pretty much talk about a gamble of things other than movies. Yeah, he was with the Raptors, and then I think he ended with the Raptors, or he might have went back and forth. Yeah, Jerome Williams. You're definitely right. But JD, definitely Junkyard Dog, that's what we used to call him. But that's the mentality that you have when you're playing in Detroit. And it's a tough basketball city. A lot of great people came from here. A lot of great people. Yeah, we could definitely get into the sports thing. I'm going to tell you about one of the three bad brothers that you know so well from Booze and Reviews. You got T. Roy and you got Critique. Critique is a multi-championship for HBCU, the FAMU Rattlers, the Florida A&M Rattlers baseball team. He's a multi-year champion, and definitely once we back together, I think this Sunday we'll be going live this Sunday, and maybe sometimes in between, but definitely this Sunday we'll have Critique in here, and we'll be talking baseball, and we'll be talking all type of sports. Hey, Simon says, tell me one thing. What is one of your favorite sports movies? What's one of your favorite sports movies? Yeah. What is one of your? Simon says, tell us what's one of your favorite sports movies? Because when we talk about sports movies, I mean, we could talk about the Lot. You could talk about the Bad News Bears, Any Given Sunday. Uh, the newest one, which is Him. I have not watched it yet, but I am going to watch Him. That's one of the newer sports movies. Remember the Titans, Friday Night Lights. Man, there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, Simon says, tell me what your favorite sports movie or one of your favorite sports movies. Yeah, what's one of your, oh, wow, man. I've been on here an hour, or almost an hour already. Varsity Blues, okay. Football, Varsity Blues, okay. Definitely a good movie. Yeah, man. So just a quick wrap up. This is Booze and Reviews Live. I am Mughal, T. Roy, and Critique. Watch your mouth. We're in the chat and we were kicking it. I'm just going live to do a Detroit sports wrap up. Some of the Lions season is coming to an end. Baseball is over. Basketball and hockey is what's popping right now, and we are number one with a bullet in the NHL and the NBA. Number one in the East, and number one in the Atlantic in hockey. Golf, Tin Cup, I think, is my overall favorite. Okay, golf, a Tin Cup is a movie, okay. See, you talk golf, man, you already know I'm going to Happy Gilmore. Although it is a comedy, but Happy Gilmore, definitely a golf movie. Love and basketball, yeah, you can't beat that. Major League, yeah, Major League One for me. Major League One, the first Major League was probably was the one. Okay. Yeah, Simon says, man, this is a channel, man. This the channel you want, man. I know you follow some other channels and all that, but this is the one you want. Sunset Park, yeah, man. He got game. If you're gonna say bad, yeah, he got game. Jesus Shuttlesworth, yeah, definitely that. Good movies though, definitely good movies. Sunset Park, Happy Gilmore, Love and Basketball, Major League 1 and 2, Varsity Blues. Yeah, man, those are definitely good movies. Man, Denzel Washington, you can't. Remember the Titans is definitely a staple movie, man. That's a good. I mean, the program is football movies. The program was definitely good. Remember the Titans really always. And Any Given Sunday. Remember the Titans at Any Given Sunday, man. Those. Wow. See, you just told your age. Simon says 316 just told his age. He said he had them on VHS. We had them on VHS too. Yeah. And then we went and got upgraded to the DVD, Blu-ray, went through the whole gambit. I bet you probably had some Betamaxes too. I bet you had some Betamax. Man, that is talking about technology going Betamax. Yeah, nobody knows what a Betamax is. Nobody's seen one, but I have. Man, I don't know if they was called DVDs when they first came out, but they look like albums. They look like records. They was like 33s. They was big album, like a big player, and you just put it in, and it was the same. I think that's how DVDs was before they got this compact. Forgot about the program, the linebacker that used to scare all the. Yup, he definitely. It's called, yeah. Okay, there it is, Betamax. That, yeah, man. I mean, I think we are in a privileged place that we can look at a lot of eras in sports, and we can literally say, hey, this era, that era, this era, and we watched everything change, and we remember how it was played and how it is played now. and we know it's some bigs. I think the biggest thing, I think one of the things that is the same through all is the referees or officials having a say in a game with a call. There's a documentary on Netflix. I think they were talking about one of the NBA refs, and one of the bookies called him and asked him, "Hey man, what do you think the score of this game's gonna be?" And I think they wound up talking, and he told him, "Yeah, I can affect the game 6 points up or 6 points down," and that was just it's heartbreaking, man, to know that you got somebody out there, really trying to line his pockets, just like everybody with the gambling, the whole thing. I think that's what me and Critique talked about. You're in the gambling era now. You are now in the sports gambling era. Things that people were kicked out of sports for, you can do now. Yeah, man, we've seen a lot of great stuff in sports, man. Maybe not so much from the administration side, but or the league side, but I think just the players adapting and basically just showing out. You know what I'm saying? From the Odell Beckhams to the uh, Anthony Edwards. I mean the Currys, all of them, man. Yeah, Wimby is definitely he's been one of a kind. He said, "Ask Chauncey." You know, so let's talk about that for a hot second. I got a couple minutes. Chauncey's face has been put all over the TV talking about this, that, and the other, and I think that is. I don't think it did it. It wasn't. I don't think that was the way they should have went about it. Because I think at this point in time, if we're going to be investigative reporters and they're going to report stuff like that, I think you got to get down to the nitty gritty, man. Show who was running these parties, because I'm pretty sure Chauncey was not running these parties. I'm pretty sure he was used as bait to get the whales, to get the fish to the table, and the whales, some more whales to the table, in order to make money, scam these dudes and make money. I don't think he should have been the face of it. I think if he was part of it, yeah, you can prove it. He's part of it, yeah, but I don't think he was the face of it. I think somebody else was, pulling the strings. Yeah, all these young guys got to stay healthy. Up, LeBron made longevity a thing. Man, I don't know about anybody who's gonna have a run like him. It says a lot more than that story. You know, if I told you I spent $1 million a year on health, training, my body, the food, and all that other good stuff, I mean, I would have to say, I would have to give you the benefit of the doubt. Now, if he's popping pills or taking shots or whatever, hope, all that stuff will come out if it's true. Um, yeah, we talked about that. Yeah, it's a good guess though. I think we talked about that, and it was like, how do people get in? We watched a million movies. How do the mafia or organizations get you into those situations? Well, I think all these players and all these people have vices, and how else to leverage somebody but by their vice? What vice do they have? Women, drugs, gambling, whatever. How can I tap into you and get you at my mercy if I don't know your vice? Women, you can use a lot of things to find out what a person's vice is, and once you do that, and you leverage them. Yeah, they're millionaire players, but see, the dude that they were we were just talking about the Pistons, and there's a bunch of people that came up in trade talks, and one of the people who came up in trade talks, I think, was Michael Porter Jr. from Brooklyn, and he's the one that made a statement on camera that said, hey, I'm gonna call my boy and tell him, yeah, man, I'm not feeling good tonight, and I'm probably not gonna score as many points, and bet on me on the under, or bet my team for the under, and that, if you're gonna say that live on TV, that just says that you setting it up. Oh yeah, definitely. Anytime you're gonna gain leverage on somebody, that's how you do it. Um, I think there are players out here who have a lot of integrity, and I think that they take the game seriously, and that's what they want to do. They want to win. They want to do it the way they got to do it, working hard, playing team ball, doing it the right way. So I think there's a lot of players out there and teams that want to do it the right way, and I think sometimes it takes longer, but it definitely will come if you stick to it. Yeah, if they can make money, then it's less you got to get out your pocket. But you know what? The other thing is, see, when gambling, you get down. The house always wins in gambling. So when you're gambling, the house always is going to take the lion's share. And so when they want you to, I make a joke and I say, well, they must have took the bag. And so it's like an NBA player a walks into their locker room. They go to their stall, and there's a black bag sitting there, and it's full of money or whatever, right? And they have a decision to make. Either I take the money and do whatever I'm supposed to do, or I say, forget that, we gonna win, and I'm going out there to do what I got to do to win. And we think some people took it. You know what I'm saying? Game sevens, and now it's like throughout the season that you might see that. Hey, everybody got their hand out when you got money like that. Yeah, AI, man. Yeah, man. AI, man. These players will tell you their stories. AI played in Detroit, if you remember. He played for Detroit Pistons, man. AI came here, and I will tell you this: the streets loved him. The streets loved him. He was one of us. He was one of us. And wherever he goes, he talks about us, and he's definitely one of us. Man, yep, Pete Rose is just never going, and they're never going to reinstate him. They're never going to reinstate him. But now you can free and clear bet on games. Carmelo. Clearly was not the same. But yeah, man, this is your boy Mugu. You are now rocking with the best. This is Booze and Reviews Live. That's T. Roy, and that's Critique. Watch your mouth. Now, they're not in here with me right now, but they were in the chat, and we were going back and forth about the Detroit sports rap, where we talked about the Pistons, the Lions, the Tigers, and the Red Wings. And we covered all their seasons. Pistons and the Red Wings right now, it is your time. Y'all number one, and let's keep rocking with the number one. Lions, we got some work to do, man. We got to go back to the drawing board and get it together. Tigers, we got to make some moves and make it happen, all right? We got the culture here. We got the culture. Now we just got to get the winning, and then the winning will bring the championships. And that's just how it goes, man. And this has been Booze and Reviews Live's Detroit Sports Rap. Thank you. Like, share, and subscribe.